So today we are gonna interview Andrew Wermer, also known as my husband, also known as Wermer.
Also known as Big Worm.
We'll go with the first three. So, and just to be clear, you have no clue about any of the questions that I'm gonna ask.
I have no idea.
Do you want to tell everyone kind of what kicked off this interview?
So I was just recently featured on SoundCloud's Twitch stream where they played my song No Cap. Everyone reacted to it really well. People loved the song. Top 4 songs get voted into an interview, this and that and that. I made it into the top 4, and then at the very end, they kind of went over their time frame and played a song. It had like not a lot of votes, but enough to where it kicked me out. It's a long story, but anyways, it kicked me out to where I wasn't top 4 anymore, and I kind of got upset about that because I'm like, whoa, there's another thing to add to the list of things that potentially could have went well, but then at the very end they decided to just, not work out. So my interviewer decided, hey, why don't you just do an interview of your own, since you're not going to have the opportunity to be featured on an interview with SoundCloud. So I was like, cool, we can do this and see how it goes.
Well, before we really get into the questions, why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of background about what you do. Don't go too full into detail because it'll be in the questions. We said in the beginning what you go by for your music and
Right.
what you do.
Okay, I am a recording artist. I'm from Joliet, Illinois, which is the southwest suburbs of Chicago. I've been making music for a while, but I'm sure we'll get into that. And I mean, that's pretty. I don't want to say too much because I'll probably start answering it with some questions. But I'm a recording artist, and I consider myself an entertainer as well. And I go by Wermer, also known as Big Worm.
Cool. So let's get started.
Okay.
So what kind of music do you do for anyone that has not listened to your music yet?
Mm-hmm. So I do rap, I do hip hop, and I do pop as well. I don't want to get too far into it as far as like who I sound like or anything like that, but rap, hip hop, and pop music.
Okay. Who do you think that you sound like?
It's hard to ask an artist who they sound like. I've heard over time so many different comparisons from when I first started. I can't really put myself in a category of who I sound like just because I feel like I have. Every artist has their own distinct sound, but you can hear influences from early on when I first started making music to even modern day now.
You're not getting off that easy with me. So who have you been told that you sound like?
Okay.
Or are influenced by?
Mm-hmm. People tend to always jump to white rappers, so I've been told that I sound like G-Eazy. I've been told I sound like Eminem. More so recently, I've been told that I sound like Lil Dicky. A couple people have mentioned like Jack Harlow, Big Sean, Andre 3000. I've heard that as well. I'm sure there's a bunch more, but I can't think of them right now. So
cool. So what first got you interested in making music, and when did you start?
I first started in 2005. What first got me interested in music is in 5th grade. I started writing poetry. I had a poem published in like a teacher's thing that was like throughout the United States, and I was like, cool, maybe I can get more into poetry. And then gradually from 5th grade on to like 7th, 8th grade, I started getting into more of the hip hop scene, more specifically like Houston rap, like the Houston underground rap. And I would listen to Chameleonaire, like he was my favorite artist growing up. And his album, The Sound of Revenge, is what really kickstarted me on, I want to start doing music. Basically from 2005 until now, that's pretty much what started my influence.
You're stealing my questions here. The next question was there anyone that specifically inspired you to make music? So I take it that was
Chameleonaire in 2005 when he released his Sound of Revenge album. Yep.
All right, then. So you're ahead of me. So with knowing how hard of an industry it is to get into,
right.
What was it that really triggered you to continue making music and make an effort to get into that industry?
I'm one of those people that always is up for like a challenge. I'm always challenging myself to begin with, but I'm also a perfectionist. And when I put my mind towards something, I always want to make sure it's as perfect as possible. And I have a really hard time of letting go of things like that. It wasn't until about 8 years ago is when I really started to realize what the music industry is about. It went from a hobby to being something I took way more seriously and started investing money into and putting a lot of time and effort into. From my experiences over the years, I've started to learn how the music industry works, why it works the way that it does, and why it is the way that it is. But again, I keep falling back on, well, I'm always up for a challenge, and I know what I can be and what I can do. So I'm just trying to do that and beat the odds.
Okay, the confidence, I feel it.
Gotta have confidence.
So with that being said, let's dig a bit deeper into your music and the aspiring career.
Okay.
So for anyone watching this that hasn't heard your music yet, aside from the genre that you do, how would you describe the music that you create to people?
So there's always one word that I refer to when I'm talking about my music, and I call it revolutionary, because if you think of any music that's considered revolutionary, it's something that always sticks. I also call my style the missing ingredient. Anyone that's a fan of music, whether it's, discovering a new artist for the very first time or a new band, and you're like, I remember them before they got famous and stuff like that, they had that missing ingredient, that X factor, that piece that was missing in your ear that you didn't know that you needed, but now you found it. I think I might stop right there.
So with the missing ingredient, are you saying you're basically what's missing in the music industry right now?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
So coming off of me asking you, describe the music that you create, what is your creative process like?
My creative process is not what you see on Instagram Reels. You see the big studios and people sitting down with these producers and making everything from scratch, and I'm not like that. I mean, I've stuck with the same format since I started, which was I find something that I like production wise. I sit down, I write to it, I perfect my writing, I record it myself, I perfect my recording. If I don't like it right away, I trash it. And it's been the same for a while now.
So now that we know what your creative process is like, what kind of music you make, you dropped a mixtape back in August of 2020.
Right.
What is your favorite song on there?
My favorite song on the... Dang. All right, my personal favorite is No Cap for a couple reasons. One, it's like the turn up song in the EP. It kind of breaks away from everything, but it still fits in. It still follows the story. And two, when I recorded, I remember when Steve Fields sent me, the dude who produced it, when Steve Fields sent me the beat, I was like, yo, this is about to go crazy. And when I laid it down, there wasn't a doubt in my mind. I was like, this song is nuts. And as an artist, you get a certain feeling when you create a certain song, and you're like, this is it. Like, I have to go hard on this. And that ended up being my favorite was No Cap.
So what was the motivation behind No Cap? Was there a motivation, or you just heard the beat and you were like, I'm just gonna go crazy on it?
Yeah, so I was so stuck in molding this album together, and it was starting to get a little stressful. Like I was starting to lose the fun in creating the EP, and I was like, you know what? I need to just push all that to the side for a second and just have some fun with the song. And then I ended up getting that. And I was like, this is so much fun. Like, this song is so fun. I bet I can figure out a way to plug this into the EP, which it worked out perfectly. And
I can't agree, it did.
Yeah, and that was it. Just, I had fun with it. So.
Got it. So with us going a little bit over the mixtape, your favorite song, where can you hear it at, the whole mixtape?
All streaming services. So Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Deezer, YouTube. It's on Bandcamp if you want to purchase it. It's on Bandcamp if you want to purchase it. Anywhere, you name it. You can literally Google Wermer. It's called Lovesick/Sick of Love, and it'll pop up right away, and you can listen to it and enjoy it.
Glad you brought that up. Sick of Love.
Yes.
Before we move away from talk of your mixtape, where'd you get the title from?
When I released the very last song on the EP, which is Only When You Need Me, I released that in 2017, and that was one of those records that I put out where it was, if I don't make music ever again, I want this to be like the very last song I ever do. Well, I didn't stop. And I was like, you know what, I like this song so much, I could totally craft an entire album off of this one song. So you get your love songs in the beginning, which is Lovesick, and then you get your interlude, which transitions from love to being sick of love. And that's the last 3 songs, and that's where Anemia is. And my favorite song, No Cap, is on the second half of the EP, and that's where the motivation came from.
I can advocate that everyone should go listen to it. It is a dope album. I like it, and that says a lot from me. So.
Yes, it does.
With us just discussing your mixtape and everything, the songs that you make, your creative process and everything like that, who always has the last say for your songs when you decide to release something? Like, who is the go-to person you trust to be honest?
For real?
Yes.
You.
Oh my God.
Well, but okay, well, yes, you, because you're like the deciding factor. But I always go through my engineer, Drew, Leo, the ear god, and he'll let me know if it's good or not. He hasn't said anything's bad yet, so I don't know if he's losing his touch or not. But no, but I always go through Drew. I always get his stamp of approval, and definitely you, because you'll tell me if something's not good right away. That's pretty much it. I'll send it to a couple friends that I know will be honest with me, and that's it. Once I get 3 yeses, I'm off to Hollywood. So.
Well, I'm glad that me having no filter helps you out. All right, let's get to some fun questions. If you could go open a show for any artist, any genre, what would it be and why?
First would definitely be Drake. A lot of artists, once they get that cosign from Drake, it's just like you can go and put him in the Hall of Fame at that point. Outside of rap, I would definitely say I'd say Bruno Mars. I think he is one of the best performers of our time, and that's the only 2 I could think of off top.
If we are talking about past artists that are no longer with us, who would it be?
Michael Jackson.
Yes, we know.
Oh my gosh, Michael Jackson. I don't know how that would work with my music, but we'd figure it out.
What is the biggest show that you have done so far?
I did a show in Ohio for St. Patrick's Day. They have this huge festival every single year. It's I believe it's Dublin, Ohio, and the place is called Flanagan. There was tens of thousands of people. I was with a cover band called 17th Floor. We got to perform in front of a bunch of toasty people on St. Patrick's Day, and I was rocking my green Brian Scalabrine Bulls jersey, and it was fun. That was the biggest crowd. Another one of my favorites was opening for. I've opened for a couple people. Now I'll stick with that. There was a couple of people that I opened for, and it was a lot of fun because it was local, and you have all your friends there, and they're all jumping around and.
Like, throw them out quickly. Let's go.
MGK, Snow the Product, Hobson, Dizzy Wright. That's just a few, right? That's four.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Mr. Popular. Okay.
All right.
If you could make it happen, who would you most like to collaborate with?
Drake, like I had mentioned. Definitely Drake. I mean, there's no one else. Drake. He's on top of the list, so.
What is your favorite song to perform, or do you want to perform? Because I know that you really haven't had a chance to perform lately due to COVID.
Yes.
So, if we have to change that question to what song would you love to perform, what would it be?
That's tough because I like all my songs. Which one do you think?
No Cap.
No Cap, definitely. No Cap is so much fun. But it's a short song, so it's like, oh, you want it to be longer, but definitely No Cap. That's definitely the hypest song.
All right, so we're going to go to the closing questions.
Okay.
So there's 3 of them. First one is, if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Probably nothing. Honestly, I wouldn't change anything. I could say change the people that are in it, but then it wouldn't be in the situation. It wouldn't be where it's at now anyways. It's the way it is for a reason.
I feel that.
Yep.
Give us 3 goals for 2021.
I want to crack 100,000 streams on Spotify. I want to increase my followers on like Spotify, social media, etc. And I want to be the best father that I can be to my little man once he gets here.
So, last question of the night.
Okay.
What's next for you?
Personal life is becoming the best father I could possibly be for my little man. And
We don't know if it's yours.
okay,
It's yours.
I know. And then as far as music wise, I know I can't really say what's next. I just gotta play the cards I'm dealt, hope for the best. You know, if it's positive, it's positive. If it's negative and I get knocked down, I just hope I get back up and see where it takes me.
I think you'll be good.
I think so.
You're kind of cute.
I'm alright.
Is there anything you want to say at the end of this interview?
Hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble about myself.
Throw out those social media handles.
My social media for everything is at I am Wermer. So if you want to follow me on social media and get to know me a little bit more, and be on the lookout for more music, and that is it.
Yay!
Yay! This concludes our interview with
with Alexandria Wermer from ESPN.
Na-na-na, na-na-na.
Do you like how you look?
Do I like how I look?
Where's your phone? Put it on Do Not Disturb.
Babe.
Oh. Gonna have a blooper reel?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You can show why you have no pants on under the desk.
I'll give it. It's hot. It's hot. All right.
All right.